Hello, and thanks for watching. Welcome to part 10 of Road to Omega, a series of videos covering the WipEout games, leading up to the release of WipEout Omega Collection on the PlayStation 4. In this video we're looking at WipEout Pulse, the PS2 version. So you can see here, same artwork, and yeah, so it was ported to the PS2 in the PAL territories in 2009. And it was around the similar time to the Fury DLC coming out on the PlayStation 3 for WipEout HD. So yeah, we're going to have a look at it, and I'll talk about the differences between the PlayStation 2 and the PSP original version. So yeah, let's cut across and look at some gameplay. So here we go then, WipEout Pulse, the PS2 port, only released in PAL territories. And it came out in 2009, just after the WipEout HD Fury DLC. I remember at the time being quite excited about this. Another WipEout game, always good. Even if it was the same, it would have been cool to play WipEout Pulse on the big screen. It's got a few issues though, but we'll have a look and we'll go through it. So first difference between this and the PSP version is it doesn't say "Welcome to WipEout Pulse." Here we go, into the menu, and you can see it checking the memory card there. It does actually have a glitch occasionally. It says there, look, auto load profile succeeded, but occasionally it will not auto load. So that's one of the problems with the game. And here you can see the menu is a bit different to the PSP game. Immediately you can see it's got the split screen options here, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. You've got your race campaign at the top, which is exactly like the PSP version with your grid layout, and it is a bit different though. It has a different layout, different tracks and different events, so it's not exactly the same as the PSP version there. The race box is the same. You can pick any kind of race you want, set your speed class, weapons, AI difficulty, all that kind of stuff. Profile, pick your name and your tag and everything, look at your stats, all that stuff, and your basic game options, and the extras are the credits and playing the intro movie. So no custom soundtrack on this version, and no downloading extra stuff like ship skins and things like that. I mean, you can't do that on WipEout Pulse anymore, but at the time you could. So we'll go into the campaign and just have a look at the first track here. So same ships, and the game does include all of the DLC, so I'll just run through and you can see the ships. These are all the standard ones, and when you're flicking through, it takes a bit longer to load each ship. It's definitely not as quick to navigate these menus as on the PSP version. Here we go, these are the DLC ships. So these are all included in this version. There we go. And we'll play as Oricon, why not? Now, I'm just going to let this play, and you can see how long this game takes to load. This is a big problem with this release. If you want to be in and out of games quickly, this is not the WipEout for you. It takes a very long time to load a game. If you've been following my Road to Omega series, you'll have seen how quick some of the other WipEouts load. It's always been a good thing in the series, so it's quite disappointing to see this. Bit of a mixed release. It does have, obviously it's got the advantage of having the extra content and stuff like that, but things like that taking so long to load, it's a bit crazy. But here you go, it's got the race introduction, the same as the PSP. So here we go. And yeah, so the game has been retextured a little bit, and there's little extra things like little lights and things you'll see here and there. But yeah, generally plays the it plays the same as other WipEout games, but it does play differently to WipEout Pulse on the PSP. The handling of the ships is noticeably different, and if you're used to playing Pulse on the PSP, this will definitely throw you off a little bit. But if you spend a lot of time with this game, you will get used to it, and it'll be more fun once you've got used to the different handling. If you come straight from Pulse on the PSP, it'll throw you off and you probably won't like it. So another noticeable difference is you can see the ion trail coming out of the back of the ship. When you turn, it actually turns now, instead of shooting straight out the back. So here we go, we're on Moa Firma. And yeah, the ion trail moving behind the ship, it throws you off a little bit, because I think in most of the other games it shoots straight out the back, and even when you turn it's just going straight out the back of the ship. Bit different. Yeah, same soundtrack as on the PSP version. And you can still pause the game and flick through the soundtrack with the D-pad. So that's quite cool. So here we are, we're back in the campaign and on the grid, and I just wanted to show you how different it is to the original PSP release. If we just go into grid 2 here, and you can see that Orcus, which is previously one of the DLC tracks on the PSP, is just worked into the grid. So all the DLC tracks are just seamlessly built in with all the rest of the tracks in this release. And we'll just go in and we'll play a bit of Orcus. So yeah, if you were stuck, say, with just the PS2, it was brilliant to have another release. Because a lot of people don't buy the handhelds, and having Pure and Pulse both on the handheld meant there wasn't a console WipEout for a while. So yeah, if you were stuck with the PS2, it was nice to get a second release, because WipEout Fusion was the only one before that. And this does have quite a bit of content in it. If you can deal with these long load times, as I'm showing you again here, then it's fine. There's a lot of stuff to do in the game. A lot of things to unlock, getting the loyalty points to unlock the skins. All the ship skins are the same as in the PSP release. So here we go, let's have a look at Orcus. I think I'll just show you this and then we'll have a look at the split screen. So yeah, all the DLC tracks look nice, and yeah, it's pretty good they're included. As with a lot of these releases, it's a shame it was a PAL only release. Even if it's a bit of an inferior port, it would have been nice if the people in other territories could have got hold of it as well. So yeah, let's have a quick look at the split screen then. We'll start with vertical. So we'll just have a look at another track in vertical. So here we go, we're going to look at horizontal split screen now. Okay, so that's been a quick look at the PS2 version of WipEout Pulse. As mentioned, it's got a few issues. Of the two versions, I'd say if you can get hold of the PSP one, that's the one to go for. Even without the DLC, it's probably the superior version. But this does have all the content in it, and if you already have a PS2 or you're thinking of getting one for cheap, then this is definitely worth a look. But it is one of the weakest WipEout releases because it has those issues. But yeah, that's a quick look at that one, and stay tuned for more videos.